Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if you can hear me outside, if we can make a start. If the guys can hear outside, I'll try my best and raise my voice as best as I can. Well, I'll just stand here today. Alan, you do this to me. I'm proud on how many people here, and thank you all so much for coming out. It's a celebration of life, as sad as it is, but it's a celebration that we had 68 great years, and as a family, I want to say to Sheila, Sarah, and Megs, you were so good this last week, and I know how tough it was, but your dad will be proud of you, and well done to all three of you. You're fantastic. Well done, girls. So as I say, it's a celebration. We want to remember the good times, because bad times are things that we all put away in our locker, and we don't need to hear about those. It's all joyful. We're linking. I think hopefully the link is working, and it's overseas. My mother, who's 91. Hello, Margie. And I better be careful what I say, because her number one son was a protected one, so I better be very careful on how I put things across today. But there's my mom, hopefully online from Scotland. My youngest daughter's gone up to be with her to make sure that she could link into the TV and the modern technology. Our sister, Christine, is in Australia. I think it's 9, 10 o'clock at night there, so she'll be linking in. There's a whole lot of people, and I just want to thank everybody for the messages, the support, and just being around and being here today. It gives a lot of comfort. The last week has obviously been tough, but we move on. And we're just here to enjoy and to celebrate and to remember. He was a good man, and I'm very proud, as I say, of my nieces and the grandkids. So we're going to have a couple of little speeches. And the first one to kick off and open the innings, Granddad's favourite elder granddaughter, Molly, Mia, God, all of you. Mia wants to come up and say a little word about her granddad quickly. So, Mia, come and open the innings for us.
Why you do this to me?
You're okay. You'll be good.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mia, and I'm going to say a poem that reminds me of my life with my granddad, Brian. It's called Granddad Doesn't Care. I've got ice cream on his good trousers, but Granddad doesn't care. His fishing tangle's tangled up. His rod is who knows where. I've lost his scissors on his desk. I've made a mess on there. I'm always eating his chocolate, but Granddad doesn't care. I help him make his bed, 'cause we're really quite a pair. I've lost his scissors again, but Granddad doesn't care. I'll look for you at galas, although you're not there. I won't forget the love I get when Granddad didn't care.
Fantastic. And second up, first wicket down. Molly B, you want to come up and say a little word? Granddad's second favourite granddaughter.
Hi everyone, I am Molly, and today I'm going to say a few words from my granddad, Brian Shaun Murphy. I would like to start with a short prayer. Please bow your heads. God Almighty, as we remember our dear one, let not sorrow overshadow the joy we shared. Transform our memories into sources of healing, ensuring that love, not pain, defines each recollection. Let our hearts be filled with love and joy in this difficult time. In your precious and holy name we pray, amen. Granddad was always a loving, caring and funny person. He always knew how to cheer anyone up at any time. There was never a dull moment with him. Now he is at peace with God with no more suffering. However, this is not a goodbye, it is a thank you. Thank you for coming into our lives and creating all these wonderful memories with us. Thank you for everything you have done for us. We know that you loved us more than anything. Thank you for all the times you were there to talk. Although we might miss the big smile you always had that warmed our hearts, and even though my tears are like waterfalls, I know you are happy now and no longer in any pain. You are the best dad, uncle, granddad, and most important of all, friend anyone could ever ask for. Just know that you will never walk alone. May you rest in peace, Granddad.
What am I go? Right, and as normal, I probably forgot to say a couple of thank yous, and those are to people that have travelled. Some have come a long, long way, and Mike, Shaun, all the way out from England, Sheila's brother and nephew, Lol, who's come up from Zambia. My beloved wife flew up from Balito, a long way. And I know there's going to be other people that I've forgotten, so please, I apologize up front for anybody that has travelled a long way. Coming from Glen Lawn to here, I think it's longer than Balito flight, came through the potholes. But it's great being back home. It's great being back in Zim again. And next up, we're going to have the eldest of the Wilson side, the Wilson tribe. Shaun is Brian's eldest nephew. As I say, he arrived only last night from England. Shaun Wilson.
That was a great opening pair. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Shaun. Brian's nephew and the oldest of the cousin in the Murph and Wolfie tribe. I've been made to say a few words at Megan's wedding by my uncle, and it feels right that I do so now. To my Uncle Brian, thank you for the memories. For the blue Mini Cooper, my first car, the El Camino, used during the fuel shortages, the fishing trips, the early wake-ups with Casey and the Sunshine Band, blasting the music like we're the only ones on the lake, for the countless weekends and holidays hosting me and my mates, never a problem, always welcome. Even when you were ill, you made time to come and see me and visit me in London. For the hockey lifts, the cricket kits, and everything in between. You were always there quietly, without fuss, never asking for anything in return. You're a great uncle to me, but more than that, you're a great dad to Megs and Sarah. You could see how proud you were of them, even if you didn't always say it out loud. You were steady, supportive, and always there in the background, exactly the kind of presence that mattered most. And yes, you supported the wrong football team, but that's okay. Thank you, you gave me more than you could probably ever realize. We'll miss you deeply. But your love, your stories, and your quiet generosity lives on all of us. And don't worry, we'll look after Auntie Shields, just as you always have looked after everyone else. Always present, always thoughtful. In his quiet strength and steady love, he reflected the words of the scripture. The righteous man walks in integrity, his children are blessed after him. Proverbs 20, verse 7. Your presence was a gift, your thoughtfulness a quiet blessing. Though you have gone from our sight, your kindness remains a light that continues to guide us.
Thanks, Shaun. I suppose one of the hardest things that people have to do, as we all know, is a eulogy. And the girls, we had long discussions over the last couple of days. Sarah has said her words, and she will come at the right time when it suits her. And the youngest, the second favourite daughter, most favourite second daughter, should I rephrase it? Megs would like to just come up and do a couple of words as well. Meggie?
To my dad, today we celebrate your life. Treasure all your special memories and moments. I couldn't have asked for a more amazing dad. You always believed in me and supported me no matter what. You gave me and Sarah the most incredible life, and we are so thankful to you. From teaching me to walk, how to fish, drive a boat, watching endless cricket and rugby games. Finishing school and going into the big world, I was never scared because I knew my dad would always catch me when I fell. Walking me down the aisle, watching you become a granddad, knowing my children would love you the way that I do, but with even more ice cream treats and chocolates. Giving them your knowledge of the font, they will miss you so much. You watched me take my first breath, and I watched you take your last. I miss you so much, and I'm not sure how to go on without you. But I know you will guide me through the beautiful sunsets, music, and light. Look at the stars. Look how they shine for you. I will hold you in my heart forever. I love you, Dad.
Well, don't make tough one to do, but to say Dad is proud of you, proud of all the family, his girls, his grandkids and everything. And I'm going to take a deep breath and a quick sip of vodka and Coke. Where do we start? 31st of January 1957, Brian Shaun Murphy was born Kitwe, Zambia, to Marge and Danny, the firstborn, the beloved one, as we called him in the family, Golden Balls. And he had a life of being an only child until the age of 7. And then yours truly came in and managed to disrupt things. We've all been brought up as sort of only children because of the age differences. I say between Brian and myself is 7 years, and between Brian and my younger sister is 16 years. And as we sort of grew up, Brian, at the ripe old age of 10 years old, was put on the Express Motorways bus with a trunk and sent down to Zim, to St. George's, well, to Hartman House to start his schooling. And that's the way it was in those days. So as tough as it was for the parents, for me as the second born, I was pretty ecstatic. I could take over the house again. And for a time, I was the number one, but not for long. He loved his time at Hartman House, did his best. He wasn't the biggest chap around. We argued many a time about sport. He loved his sport, as we all know. He always used to claim he was a rugby player. I saw his under-13 C team report, I think it was, from Father Maring, and it was very straightforward. Brian tries hard. So needless to say, his rugby career was not something that he could fulfill. But saying that, he was, for the lack of ability, the amount of time that he put in and got his hand-eye coordination, and he became a damn good table tennis player. Went on to represent the country, Rhodesia as it was. We've got Mike Eaton here. Mike and him had many a tussle together. Went down to South Africa a couple of times on tour. And then he became a mentor for me. He got me into table tennis when I think it was about 10 years of age. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have gone to Europe. We actually went on a tour to Europe in 75. And we went across and we played 5 nations across in Europe and then back into England and Scotland. And it was just the measure of the guy that Brian was, and I saw it come out in him when he was at Old G's, when he was at cricket. He just loved seeing people younger than him excelling and doing well. And he spent time with them and hours. I don't know how many hours we sat in the folks' veranda practicing and practicing and practicing. And he was one of those. He used to drive you. And we had many a fight, many a table tennis bat was thrown at each other, many tears. But if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got to that stage. I wouldn't have been able to get up there, and that was thanks to him and his commitment. And he committed himself, and he got it up to a really good level. Mike Eaton, as I say, is here. Mike, I'm not sure what stage he got through, quarterfinals, semi-finals, SA Open. Age of 18, 19, he did that. And at school, he was the same. Slight in stature, but when it came down to hand-eye coordination, he got into tennis, and he became a damn good tennis player, played first team at school tennis, and ended up playing first team cricket. Cricket is something that is my love, my passion, and again, due to Brian, we've spent countless hours on the folks' tennis court playing cricket. The competitive part of us, it goes back a long way. And we had a game where I was playing for Harare Sports Club then, playing Maribiland, as I think they were called in those days when they played against us. Not standing and boasting, but we had one hell of a sports club side, Parks is sitting there. And I'll never forget, first over the day, Rawson came in, big Nick behind. Brian Murphy did not walk. There was another guy, Robin Brown was the same, just never walked. And I remember having a full go at the end of that over, and he just said, "Lighty, you want to get me out, knock the wickets, good luck." Stuck it out. He probably ground his way to about 15 or 50 balls. It was never that exciting to watch as a player. but he had the guts and he stuck it out and went through it. And then we played a game together. When I moved across back to Old G's, Brian was finishing his cricket career and moved on to become, I think, our chairman, selector, kept himself involved, got involved selecting with the Mashonaland side. But we had a game together where we played the old boys against St. George's, the Bruno Catello Shield. And it was a fantastic event that took place. Brian Murphy, the rugby player, was wicket-keeping. My brother, Brian Murphy, was bowling alleged off-spin, which was just filth, never moved. It was just straight up and down. And young Brian Murphy, the rugby player's son, came out to bat. Don't know what number he came in, 3, 4, 5. And you can imagine the banter that started. And young Brian came out. He was a bullish young lad. He had a bit of character to him, and they started. Took his guard. And I remember just walking past and saying, there's 4 Murphys here. That's one too many. Next ball, my brother lobbed up his filth. Brian Murphy came down with eyes like saucers, charged right past it, and he got stumped by his father. So the scorebook read, Brian Murphy, stumped Brian Murphy, bowled Brian Murphy. And that all said to my brother was his greatest fame in life, was the Murphy trio that we did. As life sort of moved on, and Brian moved down to Bulawayo, a very proud moment for the parents was Brian became one of the youngest ever anointed magistrates. He was 23 years of age, and that took him down to Bulawayo, and he did a lot of the circuit courts down there. From there, he moved into RailMed, the Medical Aid Society, got very involved with Mac Club, and a lot of his old Mac Club mates are here. And before I carry on with the story, Archie Meth and Charlie Orford, I just want to say you gave my brother one of the best parting gifts by taking him to Kariba 3 weeks ago. And that's fantastic and something that we all live for and he lived for. He loved it. And then while in Bulawayo and while at RailMed, he still kept the legal side going and helping and advising and doing what he could. And along came a young lady, Sheila Wilson at the time. Sorry, I have to tell the story. Who was going through issues with her present boyfriend and needed some assistance and help and guidance. And my brother gave her good help, assistance and guidance and married her. In 1984, I came back from cricket and again very proud that he asked me to be his best man at his wedding in 84. And then it developed and in 1987, maybe I'm a little bit traditional, but I said Bulawayo just doesn't work. You need to come up to Bambazonke. This is where it happens. And he came up and joined the business with myself and came up with Sheila. And Sarah was about 2 years old. 4 months. Well, there you go, 4 months, sorry. Time flies when you're enjoying yourself, Sheila. And then we were together as a family, as I say, for 3-4 years. We had businesses, we had some good times, and we had some tough times, and some fun times. And we started a company called Sports Stores Africa, which was getting overseas sides come out for cricket, rugby, whatever it might be. Business that Mike was involved in and myself. And we probably made one of the bigger areas was getting Mike Wilson and Mike Rogan as our partners in Bulawayo. So the Rory side used to work quite well, but when the teams got to Bulawayo, it was tough. And probably a lot to do with Rogan taking teams out to Gwanda, which is a hell of a place to go on a tour, but he used to take them to Gwanda, Turk Mine, and then proceeded to have a car accident by hitting a cow, I think it was, on the way home. So needless to say, the PRO worked for Sports Stores Africa. It wasn't up there. When Brian came across to the UK, it's something that we all know in life, is that you cannot take Africa out of us. We were fish out of water. I did 10 years for my penance. God rest my father, he's probably looking at me now, and he'll be giving Brian hell now that you're all in blue, with him being a Celtic supporter. And you always come back home. And he did a couple of years. There we go. Granddad Danny will be proud to see a Celtic jersey in the corner. Well done, Joby. And he survived a couple of years overseas. So for our penance, we did 10 years. And then Brian came back to Zim, and he came back home. He was a guy that was always there for you. And as I say, we all have our differences, we all have our fights and whatever, but the one thing I could always rely on, I needed help, I needed guidance, I needed my ass kicked, pick up the phone. And he was always there. He was a steady hand. It's exactly what he was for me at the end of the day. He was a good, steady hand. The last 10 years, as we all know, he's had a battle. He's had a long battle, and he's tried his best. He had coils fitted in his lungs. The last couple of years, he went overseas. He's had stem cell treatment. He came down to South Africa, had some more down there. And he bought some time, and he loved that time. He loved that quality that he got. And whether it's 1 summer, 2 summers, 3 summers, we don't know. And as sad as it is, I'm just glad that we got those last 3-4 years. It is sad that his last 2 years, he's been in pretty good health. And it's just something that has happened pretty quickly. But you know what? We have those memories. I look at these photographs here, and I just think, goodness me. Christmas time, my mother out of the blue, sorry Margie, at the age of 90 as she was then, she just turned 91 now. We'd been overseas, Gal and myself, for her 90th. Said, I'm in for one more Africa sojourn. I'm coming. So we got her out to Belito, and we got all the family together, bar my sister, unfortunately. She wasn't allowed to travel. And there was, I don't know how many of us, 20 plenty. It was 2 weeks of chaos, young grandkids running around, noise. And it was just great when I look back at those photographs. And I think, well, we had that Christmas together. And that for me just sums it. It really does. It really does. But ladies and gentlemen, as I say, standing here, I'm proud. I'm proud when I look around this room. When we came up here on Monday or Tuesday, they said, how many people? And I said, I don't know, 75, 100, I don't know. And I look around here now, and I'm really sorry. The bar float we had there, well, that was gone. And I don't know, half an hour, she gone. There is some food coming out. Tuck in quickly, because I don't know how much is going to be around. But it just shows the quality of the guy. As I say, he was a steady hand. He was a steady hand that we could all rely on at the end of the day. You know, he loved his life. He loved his commentary work that he did. He commentated on rugby. He commentated on cricket. And I remember one of the big arguments we had at work, we had to pay for him, and he flew off to Cairo and did the All Africa Games as a commentator. ZBC, surprise, surprise, had no money. So we had to fork the whole bill, and I think they gave him $5 a day, money to go and buy a burger at lunchtime sort of stuff. But that was him. He just loved being in those environments and looking around and seeing people doing well, people that had trained all their lives to get to that level. And that really pleased him, and he just loved it. His big love in life was, as I stand here now, a lot of guys are with us here today, St. George's College. That was his pride. It really was. It was a class of 75, Brian's last year at school. And I don't know if the gentleman's here asked me to say this anonymously, but he did a poem. And I said to the girls, I said, really, I should just read that poem and leave it. And I'm going to read the poem. Rodney Kilpert, I know you're anonymous, but thank you. You're a great writer. I had to do it. It was actually a fantastic poem. And I think at the end of the day, this is something that sort of surmises the 6 decades plus VAT. Brian, the spring has sprung. Yes, truly so. A gentle jest, yet we all know. Those clever springs in Brian's chest gave hope and fight and eased his breath. Still it's so hard to fathom why, where is our martyr? There's a hole in our lives. I picture him somewhere, gentle and wise, giving advice under peaceful skies. To sportsmen of every game and creed, recalling great moments, each passionate deed. Perhaps with a comrade from battle past, or sharing a tale, his laughter broadcast. A friend to all, forgiving and true. He touched so many, more than a few. Family and friends from every shore, different generations, legends and all. He graced our reunions with laughter and pride, and tales that lit up the evening tide. On air behind the mic, his voice inspired. the love of the game, the dreams we admired. We'll miss him deeply at our gathering soon. His stories, his spirit, beneath the reunion moon. Around the braai, with beer in hand, a gap will remain in our loyal band. Stem cells and springs gave borrowed days. Brian fought on in valiant ways. Like a dragon, fierce and bold, his story retold as the years unfold. Now his journey finds its close. We raise a glass as true friends chose. Farewell, dear Brian, until we meet anew. The class of 75 remembers you. Cupid, well done. If I've missed out any stories, please forgive me. I said to the girls, they said, have you done a speech? Have you done a eulogy? And I said, no, I'm going to wing it. Probably the way I've led my life, but that's the way it is. Because it comes from the heart. I don't need to sit. I don't need to write. It's here in the heart and the memories of my head. I think we're probably about ready now. I hope I've timed it quite well. We've tried to keep this short, sweet, and as happy as possible. And Brian has asked that we have a piper, and I'd like to thank the young lad, I can't remember his name, from St. John's School, who hopefully is under the tree. And my brother's only my brother could do. If you're wondering how this has all been put together, he had a list. This is how it is. This is what I want, and this is how it's laid out. That was Brian Shaun Murphy. So I'm hoping if my grant, are we okay? Tammy's sorting it out. And Tammy, before you run out, Tammy, thank you for everything you've done for Brian and my family. That's been a superstar of a young lady who's looked after everybody for the last 3 to 5 years. You've been brilliant, Tammy. So Brian's wish was that we had a piper on the trees between the 10th and the 18th, just playing a couple of bagpipe tunes, which I'm sure is going to please the 4-ball on the 18th that are trying to putt out. But unfortunately, that's the way it's going to happen. Brian Shaun Murphy always got his way. The number one son would want that. So hopefully he'll pipe us. And we're going to play a little bit of music in the background at the end. Those are the songs that Brian chose that he loved. And please enjoy yourselves. Let's reminisce. Let's just remember the good days and the good times. And once again, thanks to every single person for coming. It really, really makes us proud and happy. And thank you for your support. And we're on our way. Thank you, everybody. Take care.